The drawing you see here has been brought into the gCADPlus environment from an earlier Garden CAD drawing. What I'd like to show is how you might create a drawing such as this from first principles. We'll assume that the red dimensions that you see here have been recorded, the house footprint dimensions have been recorded on a mud map when you went to the site. I've changed my drawing colour by layer, and I've got a layer called Trace Mud Map. So let's begin. We'll start the line command, and we'll, in this case, we could start anywhere we like, but in this case I'm going to snap to the end of that line. In your case, if you were recreating it, you would be looking at a mud map. I have polar on, so I can just, and with polar on we can draw a horizontal line, so it's just a matter of moving until you see the 0 degrees sign showing in that beige indicator there. And I just type the dimension 5640 and hit enter. The magenta line goes on top, so then we just head straight up, making sure that our angle is 90 and 4230, 4230. So you'd be taking these dimensions from your mud map, head in this direction. I don't have to go past the end, 6030, and hit enter. I can hold the wheel of the mouse down and pan across, come down here. We're going to head down 2980, 2980, and then across here 3500. So we're drawing a series of independent lines of defined length. Here we go 2300, 2300, and finally across in this direction 1710. Whoops, 1710, and hit enter. Right click to exit and finish. So now we have a magenta line which gives us the footprint of the house. This will be a driveway through there. This is the dwelling, of course, the footprint. Probably a room with a view out here with a window, but the entrance is around to the side. So we've now got our house footprint down. There is a path running from what will be the driveway around the front of the house, and it's 800 millimeters wide. What we'll do is select that part of the footprint there and right click and join them. That will enable us to use the modify offset command, pick that what is now a combined line segment, and we're asked to specify a through point. I'll pick distance and type 800, and we indicate the side to offset. So we've drawn that path around in that direction. We've a little more work to do in this area here, but using the offset command is a quick way to offset structures and build geometry. In the same way as we did the footprint of the house, we'll now do the boundary lines. So it's again draw and line. We'll pick up the end of the line that we drew, head off in this direction. The distance is 1010453 and hit enter. That puts our first line in. The next one is 16880, 16880, and enter. And then we come down in this direction, and we don't have that distance there. So what we'll do is just push the line past the end point. We run vertically down, and then we can trim things off later. So the boundaries of the site are in now, and this is the point where we can start to do our design work. Well, at this point I'm going to use one of our tools, and I'm going to isolate the Trace Mud Map layer, and there's the information that we've been putting down. I'm going to pick it and move it. I'll pick any one of these points here, but move it horizontally across. And then we can go back to our layers. I'll unselect all, go back to our layers, and turn all used layers on. So what we now have is our, what I would prefer to be the mud map, our mud map data, and we traced over that to create our space. So now we can build the design. The design we build will look something like the one that's come in, but we'll try and use some of the tools in gCADPlus to make life a little easy for us. What I'm trying to say here, and I may not have done a very good job, is if you go on site and measure the site up, scribble some dimensions on a piece of paper, you come back to gCADPlus and you lay it out as we've done here with the magenta lines that you see. The diagram on the left is just to try and give you those dimensions so you can see what I'm entering in. I'm entering in from the values on the screen. You'll be entering them in from your mud map. So we now have to build our design in this area.